late 47. Then it was just like a 2-room schoolhouse.
1986?
1987.
1999.
People were trying to get over the Depression. It was just plain Jane. I mean, it was country church.
There were 4 families that had held the course. They had struggled and thought about closing the doors and had met together and prayed. And Edgar had said, God has work to do here. We're not closing the doors.
Very small, maybe 25 to 30 people. Down at the bottom of the hill, there was this little white frame building sitting there that had a pipe railing around it.
The first thing I noticed was that there's lots of people. They were very friendly. There's just a lot of people encouraging each other in each other's lives, praying for each other. People come and go, different people, different faces, but the same gospel, the same mission, the same purpose, the same community.
Much deeper into the Word and the understanding of it and the application of it.
Well, I think you could describe it as like being home.
The first growth as an understanding believer as to what it meant to truly walk with the Lord and follow the Lord occurred as a result of coming to Rocky Point.
I wasn't a Christian when I started coming to Rocky Point, and the Lord started speaking to me the minute that I walked in. He has just done amazing things for Art and I, and our marriage, and our kids, and just how He's used us in the church.
Gary was really big on going out and evangelizing. And we saw a lot of people come to Christ during that time frame. There were those that amazed me and just reassured how great God is and how God touches those hearts.
You know, Miss Bays tried to teach the young women. You know, I mean, she would try to get all the young people and the older women, and she'd say, you know, you need to teach these kids.
Early in our marriage here in this church, we worked a lot with the youth and the college students. And some of those college students that we worked with were Keith McCullough, Victoria, Kurt Hoffman, Kimberly, Kenny Danley, BJ Hill. And to see those college students now married with lots of children still in this church, serving in this church, leading in this church.
God has used each person there to touch somebody else, and it's because they love the Lord. And they want everybody to have that.
It's still there. And, you know, He had a plan for it way back. Thank God for the past, because if those people hadn't have done all they did, you wouldn't be at Rocky Point.
God has been very faithful to this church in always providing what we need. We've seen a period of time without a lead pastor. A point in time when he had Art Gartside as an associate pastor standing in the gap here. He brought another pastor to us, Edward Hansi, and he served a great purpose in this church and given us a great foundation in our teaching. From that connection came our next lead pastor, and he was exactly what we needed at the time. Even though sometimes it seems as if God may not be working, God is always working behind the scenes.
Watching God keep a remnant together when it just felt like the winds of hell were blowing against it. The remnant that He kept together. He was faithful to every one of them. He was faithful to his word, but he was faithful most of all to his bride, the church. It's still there, and it's flourishing now more than it ever has.
Being able to look back and see the goodness of God woven throughout all of it, even the bad and even the really bad. He's just always there and always good.
You know, this is not just a schoolhouse. This is God's house. And he's going to do what he sees fit to do.
It's not really to me that we get a lot more people, that we get a bigger building. It's just that I am loving the growth of believers joining together.
But it's faithful to the gospel. It's focused on being true to the word.
For the church at Rocky Point to be full, to be committed, and to be going out and doing what the word says. Go and make disciples of all nations.
There's so many out there that don't know the Lord. And that's what it's all about. That's our desire, is that you go and you give what you got to someone else.